Earth is not only filled with majestic mountains and vast oceans, but it also hides lands so strange that they seem to belong to another planet. From icy Mount Erebus in Antarctica, where glowing lava flows amid snow and ice, to Pamukkale in Turkey, with its dazzling white terraces like clouds in the sky, nature creates landscapes that are both surreal and overwhelming. From Red Beach in Panjin, China, a crimson shore stretching like a giant carpet, to Vinicunca in Peru, the rainbow mountain painted with bands of colors like a canvas, the world unfolds in hues few could believe are real. From Antelope Canyon in the United States, with stone walls curving like ribbons of silk, to Jellyfish Lake in Palau, where millions of golden jellyfish drift through crystal-clear waters, each destination expands the human imagination beyond every familiar boundary. Exploring these surreal realms is stepping into a world where reality and illusion merge, reminding us that Earth is not only our home, but also a miraculous planet full of secrets yet to be revealed. Cenotes are natural sinkholes filled with fresh water scattered across Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. Their circular mouths resemble giant wells with vertical limestone walls surrounding crystal-clear water that reveals dark, deep tunnels where sunlight barely reaches the bottom. Beneath the still water lies a network of underground rivers stretching for hundreds of miles, some branches extending more than 180 miles, linking many cenotes together. In the deepest areas, fresh water on top meets the salty water seeping in from the sea, forming a shimmering halocline where refracted light turns the space into a surreal gateway to another world. Many cenotes were once sacred sites for the ancient Maya, as pottery, carved idols, and even human remains have been found beneath the sediment. Each artifact rising from the mud silently tells stories of religion, of prayers for rain, and of the belief that these were entrances to Xibalba, the underworld in Maya mythology. Today, systems like Dos Ojos and Sac Actun have become world-renowned diving destinations, where the maps of underwater caves expand each year. Fossils of Ice Age animals and ancient sediment layers discovered in the deep waters make the cenotes natural archives of Earth's history, hidden beneath Yucatan's quiet surface. In Yunnan Province, southwestern China, the stone forest stretches over 193 square miles, with thousands of limestone pillars rising straight into the sky, forming a magnificent forest of stone. Some pillars reach up to 100 feet high, sharp and precarious in shape. In some places they stand close together like walls, while in others they open into narrow corridors, making the entire area look like a giant maze carved by mythical hands. The formation of the stone forest began more than 270 million years ago, when this region was still under a shallow sea. The uplift of the Earth's crust, combined with tropical monsoon, weathering by rain and wind, eroded the limestone into vertical pillars, solitary towers, arches, and deep crevices, creating a rare three-dimensional karst landscape on Earth. Many legends of the local Sani people tell that the stone forest was where gods turned villages into rock to escape disasters, while the deep cracks and sharp towers were remnants of a forgotten ancient civilization. These folk tales give the stone forest a mystical atmosphere, elevating it beyond the boundaries of a mere geological wonder. UNESCO recognized the stone forest as a World Natural Heritage Site in the year 2007, but many areas inside remain little explored due to treacherous terrain. Geologists believe that the underground cave systems beneath the stone forest may still hide karst lakes and subterranean rivers yet to be studied in detail. Lençóis Maranhenses stretches over 580 square miles in the state of Maranhão, northeastern Brazil, where endless white sand dunes blend with thousands of emerald green freshwater lagoons to create one of the planet's rarest landscapes. From above, the entire area looks like a giant bedsheet with countless flowing folds, just as the name Lençóis, meaning bed sheets in Portuguese, suggests. What makes this place so strange is the seemingly paradoxical combination: a sandy desert, yet filled with countless freshwater lagoons. During the rainy season, from January to June, rainwater collects between the dunes, some reaching up to 130 feet high, forming large and small lagoons connected by underground streams. When the dry season comes, many lagoons gradually disappear, leaving behind white basins. Then the cycle starts again the following year. This constant change creates a unique ecosystem. Fish and small shrimp appear in the lagoons thanks to their eggs surviving in the dry sand for months, waiting for the rainy season to hatch and multiply. This phenomenon has led scientists to compare Lençóis Maranhenses to distant planets, where life must adapt to harsh and rapidly changing conditions. For travelers, crossing the white dunes under the blazing sun and then suddenly encountering a blue lagoon in the middle of the desert feels like stepping into a mirage where the line between reality and dream blurs with every step. Vinicunca, also known as Rainbow Mountain, is located in the Andes of the Cusco region, Peru, at an elevation of about 17,060 feet above sea level. This mountain stands out with natural bands of red, yellow, green, and purple running along its slopes, creating one of the most spectacular landscapes in South America. The mountain's unique colors are the result of mineral sedimentation over millions of years. Iron gives the red hue, sulfur produces yellow tones, while copper and chloride compounds create green and purple streaks. Wind and glacial erosion gradually exposed these colorful layers, turning the mountain into a giant geological painting in the Andes. The journey to Vinicunca begins in the green valleys at the mountain's base, passing through grazing lands of the local Quechua people. Along the way, travelers may encounter herds of alpacas and small villages that preserve traditional lifestyles, offering an authentic glimpse into the culture of the Peruvian highlands. At the summit, The entire panorama of Vinicunca unfolds with its vibrant stripes beneath the clear blue sky, with snow-capped peaks visible in the distance. This view is especially stunning in the morning when the first sunlight enhances the mountain's colors, making Vinicunca one of the Andes' most astonishing natural wonders. The Valley of Geysers on Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula is the only volcanic valley in Asia where more than 40 hot springs and geysers erupt continuously within just a few square miles. Steam rises from deep geological fissures, while boiling water columns shoot nearly 100 feet high, turning this remote valley into one of the most surreal landscapes in the Russian Far East. The immense heat source below comes from the active magma chambers of Kamchatka's volcanoes. Rainwater and melting snow seep into deep fractures, meet molten rock, and boil into high-pressure steam before erupting back to the surface. Temperatures in some hot pools can exceed 203 degrees Fahrenheit, while certain geysers release sulfur gases that give the entire valley its sharp, distinct odor. The valley's natural isolation allows a unique ecosystem to flourish. Mats of moss and heat-loving microbes surround the hot springs, thriving in conditions where most life cannot survive. Many scientists view this place as a miniature model of early Earth, when the first life forms emerged around geothermal vents. A landslide in 2007 buried many geysers under thick mud, but geothermal activity later reopened new vents. This constant transformation makes the Valley of Geysers feel like a living organism, silently shifting beneath the Earth's crust. Amid the Zhangye region of Hunan province, thousands of vertical sandstone pillars of the Tianzi mountains rise from deep green valleys like a giant petrified forest. Many of these pillars soar over 980 feet high, with slender bodies and sharp peaks topped with greenery, resembling natural towers emerging from a sea of clouds to create one of the planet's most surreal landscapes. Few people know that the vegetation on top of these pillars forms isolated ecosystems, like sky oases. Many species of shrubs, ferns, and lichens grow only in these rugged, separated locations, completely cut off from the forest below. Ecologists believe this is a rare example of plant communities evolving independently within a narrow range, similar to biological islands in the ocean. The name Tianzi means Son of Heaven, originating from the legend of Zhangye, a Tujia chieftain in the 16th century who led a rebellion here and declared himself the Heavenly Emperor. Since then, the pillars, ravines, and peaks have been named after palaces, thrones, and chariots, blending magnificent geology with rich folklore heritage. UNESCO recognized the Tianzi Mountains as a World Natural Heritage Site in the year 1992, but some sheer cliffs and deep ravines remain unexplored. Many adventurers believe they may hide underground caves or ancient fossils, offering opportunities to study climate change and ecology in the distant past. The Nazca lines stretch across the arid plateau of southern Peru and remain one of the greatest archaeological mysteries in the world. Hundreds of gigantic lines, geometric shapes, and animal figures are etched directly into the desert floor, visible clearly only from the air. The most famous include the hummingbird, nearly 300 feet long, the monkey with its spiral tail, and massive triangles and straight lines stretching for miles. The ancient Nazca people created these drawings between 500 BC and 500 AD by removing the dark stones on the desert's surface to reveal the lighter soil beneath. Strangely, the Nazca Desert has almost no wind or rain, which is why the figures have remained intact for more than 1,500 years. The true purpose of the Nazca lines remains debated. Some theories suggest they were linked to religious rituals and astronomy, serving as a gigantic agricultural calendar. Others believe the lines were ceremonial paths leading to places of worship, while the animal figures symbolized deities protecting water and crops. One lesser-known fact is that over 70 animal and plant figures and more than 300 geometric shapes have been identified, covering an area of nearly 175 square miles. Many lines run for dozens of miles with astonishing precision, showing that the ancient Nazca people possessed surveying and planning knowledge far beyond what many modern archaeologists once imagined. Bryce Canyon National Park in the state of Utah, United States, stands out with tens of thousands of orange-red hoodoo rock pillars rising straight toward the sky. These rock spires, some reaching up to 200 feet tall, cluster together densely across valleys like a giant fossilized city, where time and nature have together carved a magnificent stone labyrinth. The vibrant colors of Bryce Canyon come from the sedimentary layers of the Claren Formation, where iron creates the reds, manganese brings purples, and limestone reflects pale whites. At sunrise and sunset, the entire valley glows as if the towers themselves are burning in a sea of fire, creating one of the most surreal landscapes in North America. What makes this place even more extraordinary is the constant freeze-thaw weathering over thousands of years. Rainwater seeps into cracks, freezes in winter, then expands and breaks the rock in spring, with each fragment slowly eroding away, leaving behind slender pillars standing alone like guardians of time. This endless cycle of destruction and creation has sculpted the planet's one-of-a-kind forest of stone towers. Many narrow stone corridors and natural arches hidden within the valley evoke the feeling of stepping into an abandoned ancient architecture. Bryce Canyon, therefore, is not only a geological wonder, but also carries a mythical aura, where wind and time continue writing an unfinished story of sandstone and light. The Chocolate Hills are located on Bohol Island, Philippines, covering an area of more than 19 square miles with over 1,200 nearly symmetrical conical hills, each averaging between 130 and 394 feet high. During the dry season, the green grass covering the hills turns dark brown, making the entire landscape resemble giant pieces of chocolate scattered across the valley. Geological surveys show that the Chocolate Hills were formed from ancient marine limestone deposits, uplifted through tectonic processes and eroded by rain and underground water flow for hundreds of thousands of years. What is remarkable is that the erosion occurred so evenly that it created thousands of conical hills almost identical to each other. A rare phenomenon in nature, where chaos is usually the norm. Beyond their geological beauty, the Chocolate Hills are tied to many local legends. One story tells of two giants fighting, hurling stones at each other for days until they exhausted themselves and made peace, leaving behind thousands of boulders that became the Rounded Hills. Another legend says, these are the petrified tears of a giant mourning his mortal lover who had passed away. Today, during the dry season, when the dark brown color covers the entire area, the Chocolate Hills emerge as a surreal landscape amid the lush tropics, where geological history, ancient legends, and pristine beauty blend into one of the strangest sights in Southeast Asia. Benagil Cave lies on the Algarve coast in southern Portugal, hidden among the golden limestone cliffs, constantly carved by the waves of the Atlantic Ocean. From afar, it looks like a giant gateway opening into an underground world where the sea and sunlight meet inside a vast stone chamber. The most striking feature of Benagil is the massive natural dome with a round hole at the top, known as the Eye of the Sea. When sunlight streams through, the entire cavern glows in shades of gold and turquoise, reflecting on the soft white sand and crystal clear water. The contrast between the shadowy cliffs and the radiant light pouring from above creates a surreal scene, like an ancient cathedral carved by the hands of nature. Inside the cave, layers of limestone formed over millions of years reveal ancient patterns, where every crack and color band tells the story of oceans, storms, and the restless movement of the earth. Towering alcoves and narrow corridors leading deep into the cliffs evoke the feeling of exploring a primordial labyrinth where the echoes of waves carry through the cool, shadowy space. Benagil can only be reached by boat, kayak, or swimming across the Atlantic waters, giving the journey here the spirit of a true adventure. The combination of spectacular scenery, mystical light, and a sense of isolation makes Benagil Cave one of the most mysterious and captivating natural wonders in Europe. Mono Lake is one of the oldest lakes in North America, with a geological age estimated at more than 760,000 years. Across the arid desert landscape, the vast lake surface reflects the deep blue sky, while towering white limestone columns, known as tufa, rise from the water like the ruins of a sunken city. What makes Mono Lake remarkable is its salinity, 3 times that of the ocean, and extremely high alkalinity, making it impossible for fish to survive. Yet this place is a paradise for brine shrimp and alkali flies, providing abundant food for millions of migratory birds, such as California gulls and Wilson's phalaropes, each year. This stark contrast between harsh conditions and thriving life makes the lake a unique natural laboratory for evolutionary biology. The tufa towers formed when calcium-rich freshwater springs mixed with the lake's carbonate-rich water, precipitating limestone at the lake bed. When water levels dropped dramatically due to human diversions to supply Los Angeles in the 20th century, these structures emerged, creating a surreal landscape resembling another planet. In summer, As the sunset casts a red glow across the salty lake, the white-grey limestone spires reflect on the still water, creating a scene both ancient and mysterious. Mono Lake thus carries the aura of a primordial world where time and nature together preserve a story never fully told. Easter Island, or Rapa Nui, lies in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, more than 2,175 miles off the coast of Chile, making it one of the most isolated and mysterious islands in the world. Known for its hundreds of massive stone statues called moai, the island offers a landscape both remote and full of unanswered questions. Moai were carved from volcanic rock at Rano Raraku centuries ago, some standing over the 33 feet tall and weighing many tons. What makes them fascinating is that most of the statues face inland toward the ancient villages, as if guarding the island's inhabitants. Archaeologists still debate how the Rapa Nui people managed to transport these colossal figures across rugged terrain without modern tools. Beyond the moai, Easter Island also features enormous volcanic craters, lava tube caves, and white sand beaches contrasting with the deep blue ocean. Its mild climate and low vegetation keep the island's scenery open and unobstructed, unlike many other Pacific islands covered in dense forests. Combination of unique cultural heritage, striking volcanic landscapes, and remote location has earned Easter Island recognition as a UNESCO World Heritage Site and made it one of the most intriguing and captivating destinations on the planet. On Flores Island, in the Lesser Sunda Islands, Mount Kelimutu stands out with 3 volcanic crater lakes lying side by side, each with a different color: turquoise, deep red, and dark black. What is remarkable is that the colors of these lakes can change over time, sometimes glowing red like blood, other times shifting to green or grayish-white, creating one of Indonesia's most surreal landscapes. This color-changing phenomenon arises from complex chemical reactions between volcanic gases, dissolved minerals in the water, and geological factors beneath the lakes. Geochemical analysis shows that variations in iron and manganese concentrations, combined with intense geothermal activity, cause the colors to shift continuously, sometimes transforming completely in just a few months. In the folklore of Flores Leo people, the three Kelimutu lakes are believed to be the resting places of the dead. Tiwu Atabupu, the dark blue lake, is said to hold the souls of the elderly. Tiwu Ko'o Whainua Muri, often turquoise, belongs to the souls of the young, while Tiwu Atapolo, usually deep red, is for the souls of the wicked. The changing colors are believed to reflect the moods of the spirits dwelling inside the volcano. Today, scientists continue to monitor temperature and chemical composition at Kelimutu to better understand the link between geothermal activity and this rare color-shifting phenomenon, making Kelimutu a unique natural laboratory in the heart of Indonesia. Torres del Paine National Park, located in the southernmost region of Chilean Patagonia, is one of the most famous national parks in the world, thanks to its majestic scenery and unique ecological diversity. Covering more than 690 square miles, it combines glaciated mountains, glaciers, turquoise lakes, and vast grasslands stretching to the horizon. The park's most iconic feature is the three granite towers of Torres del Paine, rising nearly 8,200 feet high, sculpted over millions of years by ancient glaciers and fierce winds into dramatic vertical cliffs. At dawn, the peaks glow red in the sunlight, offering one of Patagonia's most breathtaking sights. In addition, the park boasts massive glaciers like the Grey Glacier, where enormous blue icebergs float on frigid lakes, and a network of crystal-clear lakes such as Pehoi and Nordenskjöld, reflecting the surrounding peaks perfectly. Expansive grasslands and lenga forests provide a habitat for guanacos, gray foxes, and the elusive puma. Famous trekking routes like the W Trek and O Circuit allow visitors to explore the park's full grandeur, from windswept plains to glaciers and snow-capped mountains. The combination of striking geology, rich ecosystems, and pristine wilderness has made Torres del Paine the crown jewel of Patagonia and all of South America. Colca Canyon, located in the Arequipa region of Peru, is one of the deepest canyons in the world, with an impressive depth of about 10,725 feet. Surrounding the canyon are the majestic Andes Mountains, terraced slopes built since pre-Inca times, and traditional villages that have preserved their indigenous culture for centuries. The most remarkable feature of Colca Canyon is the giant Andean condor. Along the steep cliffs, visitors can watch these birds with wingspans of up to 10 feet soar gracefully across the bright blue sky, a scene evoking both grandeur and absolute freedom. Beyond wildlife, the region also boasts natural hot springs, lush green terraces, and ancient irrigation systems built by the Colagua and Cabana people hundreds of years ago. Small villages such as Chile and Zhangye still maintain traditions of wearing colorful clothing and holding folk festivals tied to the agricultural calendar. Trekking routes along Colca Canyon take travelers through deep valleys, glacial streams, and the distinctive dry forests of the Andes. The combination of dramatic landscapes, long-standing cultural heritage, and unique ecosystems has made Colca Canyon one of Peru's most captivating destinations for nature and adventure lovers. Pamukkale is located in Denizli province, western Turkey, and stands out with its dazzling white terraces cascading down the mountainside, resembling a giant cotton castle floating in the valley. The name Pamukkale in Turkish means cotton castle, but in reality, this is a geological wonder formed by thermal spring waters rich in calcium carbonate, flowing continuously for thousands of years. As the hot water rises from underground, carrying minerals and then spills down the slopes, It leaves behind layers of white deposits stacked into natural terraces. Under the sunlight, the limestone layers shine in pristine white, interspersed with calm turquoise pools, creating a surreal landscape that makes visitors feel as if they are walking on clouds. This phenomenon is not only a visual wonder, but also carries profound historical and cultural value. Since ancient Roman times, Pamukkale has been a famous thermal bath center, with the city of Hierapolis built right above it, where nobles and merchants came to relax, believing that the hot springs here brought health and rejuvenation to the body. Today, some thermal pools are still open for visitors to immerse themselves in the warm water amid the endless white scenery. Walking across the smooth terraces, in the quiet space where only the sound of water remains, Pamukkale offers an experience both real and dreamlike, where nature and history merge into one of the planet's most extraordinary wonders. Hidden deep beneath the land of Cappadocia, the underground city of Derinkuyu stretches across multiple levels to a depth of nearly 280 feet, capable of sheltering more than 20,000 people, along with livestock and provisions. This network of tunnels includes passageways, storage rooms, wineries, churches, and even classrooms, all connected by narrow, winding corridors like a gigantic maze lying silently under volcanic rock. Archaeologists believe that Derinkuyu was expanded over many centuries, beginning in the Phrygian period around the 8th century BC, and later used by the Byzantines as a refuge from invasions. In particular, massive round stones that could be rolled to block the entrances like protective doors demonstrate the advanced engineering skills and defensive strategies of ancient inhabitants. This underground space features a sophisticated ventilation system with more than 50 air shafts, ensuring oxygen circulates to every corner. Drinking water came from deep wells, some of which reached the surface, cleverly designed so enemies outside could not poison the water supply. All of this created a self-sustaining survival network in the darkness for months at a time. When descending the damp stone steps, visitors feel as if they are passing through centuries of hidden history, where darkness, architecture, and silence merge into a surreal picture, making Derinkuyu one of the strangest underground cities on the planet. Amid the arid plateau, Cenote of Cappadocia in central Turkey, Göreme Historical National Park stretches across a volcanic landscape formed millions of years ago. Lava flows and volcanic ash, once cooled, created layers of soft, tough rock, which over millennia were eroded by wind and rain into countless mushroom-shaped pillars, sharp spires, and deep valleys, giving the entire region the appearance of a distant planet. Taking advantage of the easily carved soft rock, Byzantine inhabitants from the 4th century hollowed out cliffs to create dwellings, underground chambers, monasteries, and hundreds of churches carved directly into the stone. Inside, religious frescoes with colors preserved for over a millennium still glow under dim lights, telling biblical stories amid the cold space of the rocky walls. Some churches, such as Tokale and Elmalı, feature domes, supporting columns, and intricate carvings, all sculpted directly into the rock, as if humans had transformed the entire mountain into a giant cathedral. The network of underground tunnels connecting the valleys is also believed to have served as shelter during times of war, creating a mysterious survival system beneath Cappadocia. At dawn, the entire Göreme area emerges with its bizarre rock pillars, hidden underground chambers, and cliffside churches, all blending into one of the most surreal and extraordinary landscapes ever created by humans amid untamed nature. Located in central Turkey, the fairy chimneys rise like a forest of strange stone towers stretching all the way to the horizon. These rock columns, standing between 30 and 130 feet tall, with cone-shaped or mushroom-capped tops larger than their bases, look as if nature's giant hand had carved them from the soft volcanic rock deposited millions of years ago. formation of the fairy chimneys is the result of a combination of volcanic lava and the erosive power of wind, rain, and temperature changes. The soft, tough layer beneath eroded faster, while the harder basalt cap above remained intact, creating these fairy chimneys that have stood for millennia, evoking the feeling of stepping into a surreal, otherworldly painting. Since the Byzantine era, locals have carved into these rock columns to create homes, churches, and storage rooms, turning them into part of a survival network, both underground and within the cliffs. Inside many chimneys, religious frescoes, reliefs, and tunnels remain, connecting to nearby valleys where people once took refuge during wars and invasions. Recent geological studies reveal that some hollow rock columns act as natural resonating chambers, producing strange echoes whenever the wind sweeps through the valley. These sounds once fueled legends of ancient spirits dwelling within the fairy chimneys, turning the site into a mysterious crossroads of science, history, and mythology. As Catedrais beach lies on the coast of Galicia in northern Spain, standing out with its massive rock arches and natural corridors stretching hundreds of yards along the Atlantic Ocean. When the tide recedes, the sandy beach emerges like a primal stage, where towering rock walls up to 98 feet high curve into arches resembling Gothic cathedral ceilings, creating a surreal landscape found in few other places on Earth. These arches were formed over millions of years as ocean waves relentlessly eroded tiers of shale and sandstone, carving columns, curved walls, and giant tunnels that run deep into the cliffs. Some corridors are wide enough for sunlight to filter through, reflecting on the damp, sandy floor and turning the entire area into a labyrinth beneath the ocean sky. What makes As Catedrais truly unique is that it can only be fully explored for a few hours each day during the lowest tides. At that moment, visitors can walk through the natural corridors, stand beneath the massive arches, and listen to the sea breeze echoing through the rock crevices like the voice of an ancient cathedral forgotten by time. When the tide rises, the entire pathway disappears beneath the silver-gray waves, concealing every trace of the corridors and arches as if they had never existed, evoking the feeling of a sacred structure whose secrets are guarded by nature itself. On Tenerife Island in the Canary Islands, Mount Teide rises 12,198 feet above sea level, the highest mountain in Spain, and the third tallest volcanic peak in the world when measured from the ocean floor. This massive structure was formed more than 170,000 years ago when violent eruptions lifted layers of lava from the sea bottom to create the island where millions of people live today. What makes Teide so unusual is its almost otherworldly landscape. On its slopes, hardened lava flows stretch like rivers of grey-black rock, interspersed with dark red lava formations eroded by wind and rain into sharp towers, precarious stone columns, and deep craters resembling the surface of Mars. NASA even used this area to test space exploration robots because the terrain was so similar to that of another planet. Botanists have also discovered many species of shrubs and lichens that survive only in this harsh volcanic environment. Adapted to nutrient-poor basalt soil and a dry, cold climate. In spring, amid the grey, rocky background, clusters of Taginaste rojo flowers bloom in bright red, turning the barren volcano slopes into a rare and vibrant painting of colors. Local Guanche legends consider Teide the prison of the evil god Guayota beneath the mountain, believing that each eruption was the demon trying to escape his fiery prison. Science and mythology coexist here, making Teide a strange intersection of nature, history, and indigenous culture. In Hunan province, the Tianmen Mountains rise 4,981 feet above sea level, famous for the giant natural rock arch cutting through the mountain, called Tianmen, meaning Heaven's Gate. This massive arch stands nearly 427 feet tall and over 164 feet wide, formed thousands of years ago after a geological collapse, creating a spectacular scene like a portal into a surreal world. What makes this place even stranger is the 99 sharp turns leading to the base of the arch. Built along the steep mountainsides, this winding road symbolizes 9 times 9, the sacred number in Chinese culture representing divine will and eternity. Above, a cable car system stretching more than 4 miles takes visitors across deep valleys in just minutes, offering breathtaking views of the entire Zhangye region. According to local legend, the Tianmen Arch was once seen as a heavenly sign. In the year 263, when part of the cliff collapsed to form the giant arch, locals believed it was heaven's will, signaling prosperity for the Hunan region. The combination of ancient legend and majestic landscape makes this place both spiritual and full of mystery. Geologists are still studying erosion and weathering around the arch to understand the formation of these massive limestone cliffs, while monitoring the potential for future collapses that could reshape the landscape in the years to come. Wulingyuan covers over 64,000 acres, with more than 3,000 vertical sandstone pillars rising from deep green valleys, where many cliffs reach 650 to 1,300 feet high, resembling natural towers forgotten since ancient times. Rain, wind, frost, and the uplifting of the Earth's crust over millions of years sculpted this magnificent stone landscape, creating one of the planet's most surreal sceneries. What makes this place special is the unique ecosystem atop the isolated pillars. Ecologists have discovered many species of shrubs, ancient ferns, and forest birds living only on these vertical islands where the soil is thin, winds are strong, and the habitat is almost completely cut off from the forest below. This isolation for millennia has given some plants in Wulingyuan rare genetic traits, turning the area into a natural laboratory for evolutionary studies. In Tujia folklore, many pillars bear names tied to legendary imagery such as Heaven's Gate Tower, Emperor's Chariot, or Fairy Valley. Ancient people believed that gods once ruled over these peaks and left their marks in the shapes of the cliffs, where white clouds and green forests blend through the seasons. UNESCO recognized Wulingyuan as a World Natural Heritage Site in the year 1992, but many gorges and underground caves remain insufficiently explored. Geologists believe the underground river systems in the limestone may still hide karst lakes and ancient fossils yet to be discovered. The wave lies on the slopes of Coyote Buttes in the state of Arizona, United States, standing out with its soft, undulating sandstone layers that look like fossilized ocean waves. The vivid red and orange colors intertwined with white and yellow streaks make the entire area look like a surreal painting created by the hands of time, wind, and sand. What makes the wave unique is its geological structure belonging to the Navajo Sandstone Formation, formed from massive sand dunes nearly 190 million years ago. The compaction of sand layers, combined with iron oxide minerals, produce the intense colors, while wind and water gradually sculpted the graceful curves, giving the impression of stone flowing under the desert sunlight. This area is relatively small, but contains many unique rock formations, narrow valleys like natural corridors, towering vertical cliffs contrasting with smooth, curved surfaces resembling frozen waves. At certain times of the day, shadows and sunlight create three-dimensional effects, making visitors feel as though they are walking through a turbulent stone ocean. The wave is also home to a harsh desert ecosystem where plants and animals have adapted in remarkable ways to survive extreme arid conditions. The combination of ancient geology, unusual formations, and unreal visual beauty makes this one of the most mesmerizing landscapes in the American West. Located in Gansu Province, northern China, Zhangye National Geopark stands out with its colorful Dangxia mountain range stretching over 193 square miles. From above, bands of red, orange, yellow, and white roll like waves across the arid valleys, creating a natural painting so surreal It seems brushed by a cosmic hand. What makes this place extraordinary is how the vivid colors change dramatically with viewing angles and light intensity. On bright sunny days, the whole valley blazes like a sea of fire, while under cloudy skies, the colors shift to muted tones, creating a visual effect like a living landscape changing with every moment. Many photographers call it nature's open-air gallery, where colors become the main character. Ancient texts from the Ming dynasty describe this land as a radiant curtain shielding the desert, suggesting that early inhabitants considered it sacred ground, where the harsh Gobi Desert met the fertile Gansu Plains. Several Silk Road routes once crossed this region, leaving behind scattered archaeological relics along the gorges. Today, some of Zhangye's deep canyons remain inaccessible due to rugged terrain and harsh weather conditions. Survey teams are now using drones and 3D mapping technology to chart the area in detail, hoping to uncover hidden caves or fossils beneath the multicolored sedimentary layers. Valle de la Luna, the Moon Valley, stretches out like a surreal painting where Earth transforms into the landscape of another planet. Reddish-brown mountain ranges, deep canyons, and white salt flats cover the valley, giving it a harsh, cold beauty so otherworldly that astronauts once simulated Martian conditions right here on this land. The valley's geological structure was formed by a combination of ancient marine sediments, volcanic activity, and millions of years of wind and sand erosion. Salt crystals clinging to the cliffs crack loudly as temperatures shift suddenly between day and night, producing eerie echoes from within the earth and deepening the mystery of this silent landscape. Many canyons here remain unsurveyed due to rugged terrain and extreme weather. Some researchers believe the subsurface sediment layers may preserve climate records from hundreds of thousands of years ago, helping to unravel the arid history of the Atacama and the evolution of deserts worldwide. Visitors to Valle de la Luna often trek across vast sand dunes and limestone canyons to witness a land so dry that almost no life survives. This absolute desolation gives the valley a haunting beauty, where Earth reveals its harshest and most primordial face. On the small island of Staffa in the Hebrides, Scotland, Fingal's cave opens among the dark basalt cliffs, with massive hexagonal columns stacked as if carved by human hands. The arched entrance rises over 65 feet high, and inside stretches a corridor 246 feet long, echoing with the sound of ocean waves, making this one of Europe's most extraordinary natural wonders. Scientists believe the basalt columns formed from lava flows about 60 million years ago. As the lava cooled, it contracted and cracked following natural geometric patterns, creating hundreds of vertical columns resembling giant organ pipes, giving Fingal's cave both architectural beauty and a surreal atmosphere. In Celtic culture, the cave is tied to the legend of the giant Fionn MacCumaill, said to have built a massive bridge connecting Scotland to Ireland, home to the Giant's Causeway with the same rock formation. The name Fingal comes from an 18th century epic poem, when European writers revived this legend, turning the site into a symbol of nature and mythology intertwined. In the year 1829, composer Felix Mendelssohn visited Fingal's cave and, inspired by the echoes of ocean waves inside, wrote the famous overture Hebrides, bringing the cave into Europe's musical heritage. Since then, Fingal's cave has become not only a geological wonder, but also a timeless source of artistic inspiration. The Plain of Jars is a megalithic archaeological landscape in Laos, with thousands of giant stone jars scattered across the fields, many standing over 10 feet tall and weighing several tons, creating one of the most mysterious archaeological sites in Asia. They lie among weeds and rolling hills, like remnants of a civilization long vanished. The jars date back to around 500 BCE to 500 CE, yet their true purpose remains debated. Some theories suggest they were used as wine containers for ancient rituals, while recent archaeological studies found human remains and pottery in some areas, indicating they might be linked to complex, prehistoric burial practices. Remarkably, most jars were carved from sandstone, granite, and limestone, transported from quarries located miles away. How ancient people moved and erected these multi-ton stones on hilltops remains an unsolved mystery, adding to the site's enigmatic aura. Many Lao legends claim the jars were made by giants who lived in the region, using them to brew wine to celebrate victory after great battles. Between archaeological reality and mythical tales, the Plain of Jars becomes a place where history, science, and legend blend into a surreal picture amid the wild hills. On the vast island of Java, Mount Bromo rises in the middle of the Tengah Sea of sand like a world completely different from the rest of tropical Indonesia. Its massive crater constantly emits white smoke, surrounded by grey cliffs stripped of vegetation, all blending into a cold, surreal scene like the surface of a distant planet. Mount Bromo stands at 7,641 feet high and is the remnant of an ancient supervolcano 10 miles wide, known as the Tengah Caldera. Thousands of years of eruptions created the massive sea of sand surrounding the mountain, a unique landscape that led the Indonesian government to designate the area as a strictly protected natural park in the mid-20th century. The native Tengah people regard Mount Bromo as sacred, believing the fire god dwells inside it. Each year, the Yudnia Kasada festival takes place, when villagers carry rice, fruits, and even livestock up to the crater to throw as offerings seeking blessings. This ritual traces back to the legend of Prince Kusuma, the youngest son of the ancient Tengah king, who willingly sacrificed himself to the mountain god to save his people from disaster. Many areas around the crater remain closed due to toxic gases and dangerous terrain, but the echoes of Tengah legends and the white smoke rising endlessly from the mountain make Mount Bromo feel like a gateway to an ancient world, where fire, sand, and faith blend into Java's surreal symbol. Diavolski Most spans the Ada River in the Raup Mountains of southern Bulgaria, a stone bridge stretching 184 feet. Built in the early 16th century under the Ottoman era, its three main arches and several smaller drainage openings allow the bridge to withstand floods and time, making it one of the most impressive stone bridges in the Balkans. The central arch rises over 36 feet high, letting floodwaters pass through without damaging the structure. Remarkably, the entire bridge was assembled from grey granite without mortar. The stones fitted so tightly that centuries of earthquakes and raging floods have left it nearly intact. This design showcases the sophisticated engineering of Ottoman builders, blending durability with harmony amid the mountain landscape. The name Devil's Bridge comes from the legend of the builder who made a pact with the devil to finish the project. Local folklore claims the devil's image hides under the central arch, and anyone looking into the water on a moonlit night will see a faint, demonic face reflected, giving the place both majesty and mystery. Today, the whistling winds through the gorge and the rushing river beneath the stone arches make Devil's Bridge one of Bulgaria's most enigmatic sites, where engineering skill, natural beauty, and folklore fuse into a surreal scene in the Rhodope Mountains. Spotted Lake in British Columbia, Canada, stands out with hundreds of circular spots appearing on its surface in summer, creating a surreal scene like a giant, abstract painting in the dry Okanagan Valley. These spots shine blue, yellow, white, or green, depending on the minerals concentrated inside each small pool. This strange phenomenon forms due to the lake's extremely high mineral content, especially magnesium sulfate, calcium, and sodium sulfate. In summer, as most of the water evaporates, the minerals crystallize into small, circular pools with varying concentrations, reflecting colors that shift with light and temperature. Some pools even become solid enough for people to walk among them without sinking. Scientists note that Spotted Lake is one of the few lakes in the world with a naturally formed multi-pool structure, where each round pool functions as a separate chemical basin. Changes in temperature, evaporation rates, and mineral concentrations make them transform constantly, creating a dynamic landscape that never repeats itself from one summer to the next. During World War I, minerals from Spotted Lake were once extracted for munitions production due to their high content of industrially useful compounds. Today, most of the area is strictly protected, serving both scientific research and the preservation of a rare geological treasure. The Valley of the Monks in the Sierra Tarahumara Mountains of Chihuahua, Mexico, stands out with dozens of towering rock columns rising nearly 200 feet high, standing vertically across the arid plateau like forgotten stone giants. Many columns have strange shapes, some slender, like human figures, others clustered like groups in conversation, making the entire valley look like a petrified monastery. These rock formations took millions of years to form through erosion from wind, rain, and the shifting geology of the ancient volcanic region. Softer volcanic layers wore away first, leaving behind the hard rock cores that now stand defiantly against the sky. This slow, relentless process shaped a landscape millions of years in the making. Geomorphologists note that the Valley of the Monks is one of North America's most striking examples of hoodoos, tall, thin rock spires naturally sculpted into shapes that fire the imagination. Some columns even bear names like the Monk, the Tower, and the Gatekeeper, reflecting how humans seek meaning in this surreal landscape. Many cliffs and canyons around the valley remain largely unexplored. Researchers believe ancient lava tubes or Miocene-era fossilized plants may lie beneath the surface, offering opportunities to uncover more of the Sierra Tarahumara's geological history. Sumidero Canyon in Chiapas, southern Mexico, is a massive gorge with vertical cliffs soaring up to 3,280 feet, embracing the winding Grijalva River at the bottom. From above, the entire area looks like a giant crack splitting the earth, stretching more than 8 miles through the deep green tropical forest. This canyon formed about 35 million years ago when tectonic forces uplifted the Sierra Madre de Chiapas mountains while the ancient river kept carving deeper into the limestone bedrock. The combination of uplift and constant erosion created these massive vertical cliffs, some so high that sunlight only reaches the riverbed for a few hours each day. Along the canyon, scientists have documented numerous caves, seasonal waterfalls, and underground streams flowing through limestone fractures. This enclosed ecosystem shelters American crocodiles, spider monkeys, and over 300 bird species, including rare eagles and herons. Some caves even preserve stalactites and stalagmites formed over hundreds of thousands of years, their white limestone contrasting with the dark green canyon walls. One particularly famous spot, called the Christmas Tree, formed where a tall waterfall cascades down the cliffs for hundreds of feet, leaving mineral deposits over centuries that shaped a massive green conical structure. This surreal landscape gives Sumidero Canyon both majestic grandeur and the feeling of stepping into a forgotten prehistoric world. The Salton Sea is the largest inland lake in the state, but carries a paradoxical history of both geology and human intervention. Spanning more than 350 square miles, its shimmering waters lie in the middle of the arid desert. Yet the lake is saltier than the ocean, creating a landscape both alluring and desolate. The lake was formed in the year 1905, when a canal from the Colorado River broke during a massive flood, sending water into the dry Salton Basin for nearly 2 years, creating a vast lake with no outlet. Because there was no flow to the sea, the water gradually evaporated, leaving behind rising salt concentrations that turned the lake into a harsh but unique environment for specially adapted organisms. For decades in the mid-20th century, the Salton Sea was a popular resort destination with marinas, vacation homes, and bustling water sports. However, rapid evaporation combined with agricultural runoff from irrigation canals caused salt levels and toxins to skyrocket, decimating the ecosystem and leaving behind ghost towns with abandoned docks and beaches coated in brittle fish bones. In recent years, researchers have warned that toxic dust from the drying lakebed could become a major environmental issue for the region. The Salton Sea thus holds a surreal beauty, but also serves as a harsh reminder of the fragile balance between humans and nature in this unforgiving desert. Hidden deep within Yellowstone National Park, the Grand Prismatic Spring appears like a giant painting crafted by nature itself. With a diameter of more than 360 feet, it is the largest hot spring in the United States and one of the most dazzling geothermal wonders in the world. From above, the rings of blue, yellow, orange, and red glow brightly amid the Wyoming wilderness, with rising steam creating a dreamlike scene as if taken from a fantasy world. Scientists explain that these rainbow colors come from heat-loving microorganisms that thrive at different temperatures. At the center, the deep blue water, where heat is too extreme for life to survive, is surrounded by bands of microbes forming the brilliant yellows, reds, and blazing oranges. Long before science uncovered the mystery, native tribes regarded the Grand Prismatic Spring as a sacred place linked to legends of the Earth's hidden power. This hot spring lies within the vast Yellowstone caldera, one of the largest geothermal systems on the planet. Superheated water from deep underground travels through cracks, erupting to the surface to create a spectacle that humans can only watch in awe. Today, wooden boardwalks allow visitors to admire this natural masterpiece without harming its fragile ecosystem. As the symbol of Yellowstone, the first national park in the world, the Grand Prismatic Spring reminds us of the planet's majestic beauty and its hidden power. Lake Baikal in Siberia, Russia, stretches for more than 370 miles and holds about 20% of the world's unfrozen fresh water. With a depth of nearly 5,387 feet, it is the deepest lake on Earth and one of the oldest ecosystems, with a geological history spanning more than 25 million years. What makes Baikal extraordinary is the network of tectonic faults beneath its floor, where the Earth's crust is slowly pulling apart. This process created the massive basin holding its immense waters and gave rise to hot springs and methane vents deep below, turning Baikal into a natural laboratory for rare geological phenomena. The lake is home to over 3,600 species, many found nowhere else, such as the Baikal seal and the transparent Göreme fish, which can survive in the pitch-black depths. In winter, the lake freezes under a layer of ice several feet thick, so clear that fish can be seen swimming beneath the surface, where cracks form giant crystal patterns. Siberian legends call Baikal the blue eye of the earth, a place where spirits guard the gateway to the underworld. The fusion of ancient geology, unique ecosystems, and mysterious myths makes Lake Baikal one of the most surreal and captivating places on the planet. Lake Kindy, in the Tian Shan Mountains of Kazakhstan, stands out with its icy blue waters and the dry spruce trunks rising like stone columns through the still surface. The entire scene feels surreal, as if an ancient forest had been submerged beneath frozen waters and turned into a monument of nature's permanence. Kindy Lake was formed after a powerful earthquake in 1911, when a massive landslide blocked the stream flowing through the valley. Rainwater and melting snow slowly filled the basin, submerging the old spruce forest. Thanks to the cold temperatures year-round, the trunks beneath the surface remain almost perfectly preserved, while the barren treetops still stand upright above the water, creating a hauntingly strange landscape. What makes it extraordinary is that divers can see an entire underwater forest with branches still intact, covered in a thin layer of shimmering moss under the turquoise water. On sunny days, light penetrates the surface, blending the blue of the lake with the silver of the submerged trunks into a dreamlike scene. In winter, when the lake freezes under thick layers of ice several inches deep, Kendi Lake becomes a world of eerie silence. The crystal-clear ice reveals the underwater forest below, where time seems to have stopped since the natural disaster over a century ago. The Namib Desert stretches for more than 1,200 miles along the Atlantic coast of Namibia and is one of the oldest deserts in the world, with a geological history estimated at over 55 million years. Its sand carries a distinct red hue from iron oxides, forming dunes up to 984 feet high, where ocean winds and scorching sun endlessly sculpt a barren yet mesmerizing landscape. The meeting of desert and ocean creates extraordinary natural phenomena. Fog from the Atlantic drifts dozens of miles inland, providing rare moisture for desert plants and insects. Many creatures here, such as the fogstand beetle, have evolved to harvest every drop of dew on their bodies, a testament to the incredible adaptations needed to survive in one of Earth's harshest environments. Namib is also renowned for Deadvlei, a clay pan where camel thorn trees that died nearly 900 years ago still stand preserved, their decay halted by the arid climate. Against the deep blue sky and blazing red sands, the blackened branches rise like living fossils, forming one of Africa's most surreal sights. Beneath the sands, recent geological studies have uncovered ancient underground river systems that once flowed through this region, suggesting that Namib was once a lush, green land before climate shifts millions of years ago. The stark contrast between its fertile past and arid present makes the Namib Desert a keeper of Earth's mysterious geological memories. Strokkur is located in the Haukadalur geothermal valley in southwestern Iceland and is one of the most frequently active hot water geysers in the world. About every 5 to 10 minutes, Strokkur erupts with a column of boiling water, reaching heights of 65 to 98 feet, creating a spectacular sight against the smoky ground and the cold grey sky of the North Atlantic. The energy source of Strokkur comes from the underground magma system beneath the Earth's crust, where the temperature is high enough to boil underground water pockets at depths of dozens of feet. Pressure gradually builds up to an unbearable point, and at the moment of release, the entire column of water and hot steam shoots straight into the sky, leaving behind a thick white mist spreading across the valley. The area around Strokkur also has many other hot springs and geothermal pools, some with surface temperatures exceeding 212 degrees Fahrenheit, with colors ranging from emerald green to orange-yellow due to mineral deposits. This diversity makes the Haukadalur Valley a giant natural laboratory where geothermal processes take place openly, exposing the raw power of the Earth beneath its fragile crust. Strokkur stopped erupting in the early 20th century because its conduits became clogged, but an earthquake in the year 1963 awakened it, clearing the pathways and bringing the geyser back to its current lively state. This unexpected revival makes Strokkur not only a magnificent natural wonder, but also a testament to the unpredictable hidden power of the Earth. Carlsbad Caverns National Park lies in the Chihuahuan Desert, hiding beneath the surface a massive labyrinth with more than 100 limestone caves. Descending from the natural entrance, visitors enter a surreal underground world where absolute darkness envelops vast chambers and gigantic limestone formations shaped over millions of years. The highlight is the Big Room, the largest cave chamber in North America, with an area of more than 355,000 square feet, where colossal stalactites and stalagmites rise like the stone pillars of an ancient temple. Many formations exceed 65 feet in height, with mineral-rich water dripping over millennia to carve intricate shapes, ranging from stone towers and curtains to still underground pools reflecting the faint light. Deeper still is the Lechugia Cave, one of the longest and deepest caves in the world, where walls are adorned with needle-like gypsum crystals and rare mineral formations, creating a near-surreal landscape. Some sections of the cave were only discovered in recent decades, expanding the park's significance not only in geology, but also in microbial biology. At dusk, thousands of Brazilian free-tailed bats spiral out of the cave entrance into the sky before scattering across the desert. This spectacular natural event gives Carlsbad Caverns both the grandeur of primeval geology and the mysterious aura of hidden underground life. Antelope Canyon is located in northern Arizona, United States, and stands out with its red sandstone walls flowing smoothly like giant ribbons. This narrow canyon is divided into two main branches, Upper and Lower Antelope Canyon, with cracks only a few feet wide but dozens of feet deep, creating a mesmerizing natural corridor under the harsh desert light. What makes Antelope Canyon so extraordinary is the way light transforms the inner space. At different times of the day, the sandstone walls shift from deep red to golden orange, then to dark purple, as shadows spread to the canyon floor. In some areas, light beams appear when the sun shines through the narrow gaps above, turning this place into a natural theater of colors and shadows. Inside the canyon, some sections are barely wide enough for one person to pass, with towering rock walls that feel like stepping into an ancient temple carved by invisible hands. The changes in width, height, and the curve of the passages make hikers encounter new, striking scenes with every few steps. In the summer, when the sunlight reaches the perfect angle, white beams cut straight to the canyon floor. where floating dust creates shimmering trails like silver waterfalls. This spectacle makes Antelope Canyon one of the rare visual masterpieces where nature and light combine to create a living, ever-changing work of art. Lake Hillier lies on Middle Island off the coast of Western Australia, standing out with its bright pink color stretching nearly 160 feet amid eucalyptus forests and the deep blue ocean. The contrast is so intense that from above, the lake looks like a strange crimson stain imprinted on the wild landscape. The pink hue of Lake Hillier does not change even when the water is removed from the lake, a scientific phenomenon that once puzzled researchers. Analysis shows that the color comes from the combination of the microalgae Dunaliella salina, which produces red-orange carotenoid pigments, and halophilic bacteria adapted to high salinity, creating a unique microscopic ecosystem rarely seen in the world. Lake Hillier has a salinity level similar to the Dead Sea, but it emits no unpleasant odor. The water is also harmless to humans and was once used as a salt source by 19th century expedition crews. Over the decades, the lake has maintained its vivid color despite exposure to rain and wind, showing the unusual stability of its microbial ecosystem in such a harsh environment. What makes Lake Hillier even more remarkable is that it lies only a few hundred meters from the shoreline, where ocean waves constantly crash against white sands, creating a striking three-color scene: the deep blue of the sea, the green of the forest, and the brilliant pink of the lake. Valley of Fire State Park lies in the state of Nevada, United States, spanning more than 70 square miles with blazing red sandstone formations that appear to burn under the desert sun. This intense color gives the entire valley a surreal appearance, especially at sunrise and sunset, when the light scatters across the cliffs, creating a scene as if flames were erupting from the earth itself. Many rock formations in the Valley of Fire have strange shapes created by weathering and erosion over millions of years. Massive domes, winding crevices, and even precariously balanced rocks defy gravity, forming a giant natural labyrinth where wind and sand constantly carve intricate patterns on the rock surfaces. On the cliffs remain countless ancient petroglyphs dating back more than 2,000 years, recording the traces of prehistoric cultures that once passed through this land. Spiral symbols, human figures, and animals etched into the red rock raise questions about the lives and beliefs of communities long vanished, leaving only their silent language in stone. Some areas like Fire Wave or Elephant Rock, with their unique shapes and colors, attract photographers and geologists alike, where the rock layers ripple like frozen waves in the heart of the desert. The combination of colors, light, and forms gives the Valley of Fire an otherworldly beauty, challenging any simple explanation of time and nature. Fly Geyser lies in the Black Rock Desert of Nevada, United States, standing out with its surreal shape as if it came from a distant planet. Columns of hot water constantly erupt from the multi-layered mound covered in green, red, and yellow algae, creating a landscape both strange and vibrant amid the vast, arid land. What is unusual is that Fly Geyser is not entirely natural. In the year 1964, a geothermal exploration well accidentally tapped into a pocket of superheated groundwater. As mineral-rich water erupted to the surface, the deposits built up over decades, forming a bizarre cone-shaped structure that continues to grow as the hot water keeps flowing. Water temperatures at the vent can reach up to 199 degrees Fahrenheit, allowing heat-loving algae to thrive. These organisms create the vivid colors coating the mound, with red from iron oxides, green from algae, and grayish-white from calcium carbonate deposits, painting a living natural canvas. Around Fly Geyser, several smaller geysers and shallow hot pools have formed where mineral deposits continue to build strange shapes that expand quietly year after year. Mount Roraima rises on the border between Venezuela, Brazil, and Guyana, reaching nearly 9,219 feet above sea level, with a flat summit stretching more than 12 square miles, separated from the surrounding world by sheer cliffs up to 1,312 feet high. From a distance, the mountain looks like a massive fortress floating above a sea of clouds, evoking the image of a forgotten ancient continent. The surface of Roraima combines some of the oldest quartz rocks on the planet, dating back more than 2 billion years, with a network of crevices, caves, and natural lakes formed over millions of years of weathering. Many lakes on the summit are highly acidic, while precariously balanced rock pillars take on surreal shapes, like gigantic natural sculptures. The isolated ecosystem on the summit has given rise to many endemic species of plants and animals found nowhere else. Carnivorous plants, such as Heliamphora, along with ancient mosses and ferns, blanket the rocky valleys, creating a landscape reminiscent of the dinosaur era when the Gondwana continent still existed. The remoteness and surreal appearance of Roraima inspired Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's novel The Lost World, where he imagined a secluded plateau preserving a prehistoric realm.